Wow, I was not expecting that one whatsoever. As the Leafs pull off one of the last minute trades of the deadline, as they send Frankie Corrado to the Pittsburgh Penguins. Now, Frankie Corrado has been the guy that everyone's been saying, let him go. The trend has been like, free Frankie Corrado, let the guy go. I mean, he's been sitting up in the press box most of the year. Now he was down in the AHL with the Marlies, playing pretty well. And it was just like, give him a shot somewhere else. And they did it as they traded him to Pittsburgh. Now, you don't think you're going to get a whole lot for Frankie. I mean, yeah, he's still a fairly young defenseman, so you got that in your system. But he hasn't played a lot of NHL games. He played last year with whatever Leafs team that was last season. And you didn't expect to get a whole lot back. Well, you didn't, but you got a lot of pieces that could possibly fit or help or something. You get Steve Oleksy, who is a right-handed defenseman, and that has been a mess of a position for this team this year. To put it in perspective, you have Nikita Zaitsev, Roman Polak, and Connor Carrick. Well, Connor Carrick is injured right now, so Oleksy Marchenko is in his place. I've got really no problem with Marchenko, except he really didn't look good whatsoever last night. So getting Steve Oleksy is like another option. He's been playing down in the AHL for the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins. Don't know why my ear's so itchy. So it's not like you're getting that NHL big experience, and you're getting that, right? He's a player that could possibly play for this team. You also get right winger Eric Fehr, meeting up with, he's more or less going to be on the fourth line with Boyle and Matt Martin. Thank you. That's going to be a very defensive line. Brian Boyle, obviously a great defensive player. And then you get, obviously, Eric Fehr, who's a penalty killer and a former Washington Capital on the penalty kill. So he's a very good player. But also Eric Fehr could be that kind of a guy that goes into the expansion draft and is gone. I mean, it just makes sense. And that would probably be good enough. You get a winger that can play for this team right now, and that would be nice. Because they sent Soshnikov down. Well, we ain't done yet. The Leafs do add a 4th-round pick in there. The Leafs got a decent amount for Frankie Corrado. I mean, I think a lot of people would say, well, I'd take the 4th-round pick straight up. Maybe a 3rd, but nonetheless, a 4th-round pick plus a depth defenseman that you could use and possibly in the playoffs if need be. And also Eric Fehr, a very serviceable NHL player for this season, a good player, and a piece that can really help this team right now. So it's not a big trade. It's not a big trade like the Shattenkirk trade or the Martin Hanzal trade or any big deals like that. But you get some solid, you get a solid piece in Eric Fehr. You get a 4th-round pick, which you're definitely going to use after you just traded away one to get Boyle. You just trade away one. So, it's kind of like a perspective of the Leafs got rid of somebody they weren't really using. I mean, they weren't using him, right? They weren't using Frankie at all. They played him for a couple games, and was it 2 or 3 games this year, and that was about it. And last year, obviously, with that abysmal team, he played a good bit more, but nothing really showed from it. So you get rid of him, you get a 4th-round pick, which, hey, with the Leafs management, I don't doubt that pick might turn out to something. You never really know. It's an option. And we're still a young team. We're still a rebuilding team. So a lot of people were like, oh, that 2nd-round pick's gone. What the heck's wrong with you guys? Well, yeah, I'm mad the 2nd-round pick's gone, but we just got a 4th for Frankie Corrado and a player who can play with this team this year. I think the Leafs got the better end of this deal for sure. I think the reason Pittsburgh made the trade is because their defense core is absolutely broken. So they needed somebody, and I guess Oleksy wasn't cutting it, so they wanted to go after Frankie. He was an option that wasn't a really expensive one, but I just thought it was a good piece. I thought it was a good move. I think you guys would agree that, it's not a big, exciting, crazy move, but it's a move that the Leafs won. I think they got a couple good pieces to go along with, hopefully a playoff run. I mean, playing San Jose, LA, and Anaheim right now isn't going to help us, but getting these players, these defensive guys, I mean, you're giving your team a chance to win, and that's all we want to see is hard-nosed hockey and giving your team a chance to win. So sending down Soshnikov sends a message saying that he wasn't there. He was not ready. He was not good enough for right this second. Eric Fehr, defensive player, is going to be taking his spot. I can agree with that. I think that fourth line is going to be a wreck, like a force to be reckoned with, not an absolute wreck like they're going to be garbage, but it's just going to take the chemistry, right? Matt Martin's going to be playing with Boyle. Think about it. Matt Martin played on the Islanders. Brian Boyle played on Tampa. And why does the camera continue to do this? Thank you very much. You got to quit this right now. I'm not pointing at you guys. I'm pointing to the camera. It might look weird, but whatever. This trade is a positive one for the Toronto Maple Leafs in many aspects. If you're thinking, really, what kind of aspects is that? Well, I'm going to quickly sum it up before we end off the video. You get a fourth line right winger, so your fourth line is kind of set as a defensive line. That's a really good defensive line with Martin, Boyle, and Eric Fehr. You get Steve Oleksy, who is an option for a right-handed defenseman role. Could be an AHL player. If you need help and Marchenko gets hurt or he just really doesn't look good at all, give him a chance. You never know. And oh yeah, you throw in a 4th-round pick for this season as well. Just a bonus. So you know what, guys? That is going to do it for this one. If you guys enjoyed the video and, you enjoyed the trade, because I think the Leafs got the good end of this one, but Frankie Corrado deserved a new start in Pittsburgh, and he got it. So subscribe, hit the subscribe button if you guys haven't already. Comment down below what you guys thought of this trade, who won the trade, and where do you think these few pieces are going to fit on the Leafs. Do you think I'm right with them? Do you think you have another plan for these two players? Or do you just say it was a stupid move and they didn't need them? Let me know what you guys think, and we'll talk to you guys a little later on tonight, Raptors edition, as they're taking on the Washington Wizards at the Air Canada Center. It's a big game. It's a big one. Very close in the standings. The Raptors, looking to really continue to go on a roll. I mean, they're playing some really good ball of late. They've won 4 in a row, 3 straight since the All-Star break. And the Wizards, if you can beat them, you're giving your team a good chance. You'd be a full game up on the Wizards, because right now we're tied. And also, tomorrow night, Leafs edition, as they are in LA, taking on the Kings. It's hopefully we can get a point, get a win. We need something out of that game. All right, so we'll talk to you guys, later tonight and Thursday night. We'll see you guys then.